People think the deconstruction of a man is some loud, violent occurrence, this outpour of bitterness towards the world, when in reality, the deconstruction of a man is a silent film, a common surgical procedure that the world did not know it was trained to do. The breaking of a boy is the world's quietest natural disaster. As a man, there is no such thing as being stuck between a rock and a hard place. You either use the stones at rock bottom to build a way out, or you get buried by them. Ain't nobody coming to save you. The whole world is trying to construct you into its perfect little image, and the people around you are the ones responsible for your manufactured masculinity. Some of us are going to make it through assembly, but we need to watch out for our defective counterparts, because the whole world is going to use their flaws to define all of us. Luckily, most defective product is aware of its own shortcomings and tends to destroy itself given enough time alone with its imperfections. This abridged explanation of the process is how you become a man, or a monster. Everybody knows what a monster does. Everybody judges the monster. Nobody questions its creator. Some of us are manufactured to make light of our peril, with jokes, if you will. Male comedians are magicians in this way, how they take their pain and airbrush it into something laughable. Hee ha ha, joke about a failed suicide. The crowd laughs, the curtains close, the comedian drinks all the way home. A man's tears are just funny that way. How they have to be translated to be accepted. How they have to be transcribed into an art form to be worthy of observation. How you have to bleed artistically to become a worthy topic of conversation. It's funny how we can joke about a man's misery, but nobody taught that boy to cry. But they'll teach him how to fight. Nobody tucked him in at night, so he doesn't sleep at night. Nobody provides the protectors with protection. Nobody provides the providers with provisions. Nobody looks after the overseer. Nobody has ever tried to guide the man that steers. Everybody judges the weak men. Nobody checks on the strong ones. Only other men seem to know how subtle the difference there is before the transition. Nobody taught the boy to cry, so he would do it at all the wrong times. In the barber chair, getting casket sharp, remembering the funeral of a failed relationship. In the grocery aisle, breaking down because he's weighed down by the tears collecting in his baggage. At a soccer game, remembering what it was like to be a boy running towards a goal. Most men will only experience unconditional love from their mothers. Some of us don't even get that. Most of us never even had appreciation or respect without conditions or hidden intentions. You don't know what it sounds like to hear, I see you, and I'm proud of you. I'm glad you're here. You really make a difference, yet the expectation is to constantly be displaying the strength and love that the world is so hesitant in conveying. We're expected to have a thick skin, but get judged if it turns to a hard shell. The first step in being a man is ignoring the hunger. Because yes, boy, you're gonna be starving. Starved of attention, starved of affirmation, starved of love, starved of being told that you are enough. Step 2 in being a man is comfortability with replaceability. Because you are only as good as you are useful. You are only as valuable as you are needed by others. And should there ever come a day, boy, where you fail to provide everybody with a smiling face, then do not be surprised when they say all men do is take up space. Step 3 in being a man is overcoming your fear of the fire. Because almost everything you will ever try to build will go up in flames. Relationships, careers, hobbies, and yes, you are always to blame. Step 4 in being a man is understanding that by the time you finally get all the right answers, the questions will have already changed, and you might achieve the strength of Herculean fiction, trying to balance the weight of all these contradictions. Be a man, they say, definition unknown, description keep changing. We men, so empty, so irritable, so this, so that. We get told what we are so much we've understood that who we are ain't even up to us. The blame is always on us regardless. One guilty man's action requires an innocent man's explanation. Otherwise, you're all guilty by gender association. There are 4 times as many male suicidal ideations because it's been hammered in our head that we're falling short of our societal expectations. I mean, just imagine being in a world of hurt for 100 different reasons during a nationwide emasculation season. There's a unique brand of sadness that follows being hated without reason. It ain't no secret why such a high percentage of us have attempted to stop breathing. As the saying goes, every failure is one step closer to the successful attempt. And there is no such thing as an attempted suicide. A man's soul dies long before his body gets the chance to realize. A man with an old soul is just a boy that contemplated going ghost. For every woman that suffers the same fate, 4 men will follow her to the grave. And I try to hide the stats from the poet because he might romanticize them. He might write a poem in place of the suicide notes that were never left behind because nobody taught them otherwise. So who's going to teach these boys to cry while they're still alive? A man with nothing to lose will view everything as something to take, and a child that is not embraced by the village will burn the village down, and he will stare as everything that did not love him back contorts and cracks. And he will ease his way into the fire until he finally feels some warmth.